A shadowed dawn, beneath a silver crescent hanging low beyond the old mill's silhouette. A quiet truth settles. Fate deals uneven hands. Some feast while others hunger. Courage flickers in the attempt to hum a tune, to summon bravery against the odds. Yet the earth, freshly turned and heavy with damp, exhales a chill reminder of endings, stirring a longing for escape from the struggle. The call to persevere. Hold fast. Hold fast! Echoes a timeless rallying cry, resolute against surrender. In matters grand or trivial, yield only to the anchors of integrity and reason, as a storied voice once urged, an anthem for those who refuse to bow. Dancing on the Edge years ago, a treasure trove of books from a famed storyteller's collection came into new hands. Among them, Ridges and Valleys, by an obscure bard, Elias T. Morrow, published in 1926, held a folded note marking a verse. No task at twilight. Lone at day's end stood the soul, with a scattering of stars in a crisp, cold bowl, and the barn's breath on the breeze. Fields stretched wide, yet no call came, no farmer sought a willing name, empty echoes in the trees. That hollow ache resonates with anyone forging a path from nothing. Even amid bold declarations of defiance, the early days of carving out an enterprise, say, in the shadowed 1970s, can grind resolve to dust. Misery cloaks those months like a relentless fog. Looking back through the lens of triumph, tinted by the sparkle of success, those trials might glow as a defining forge. But in the moment, they threaten to shatter the spirit. The key lies in refusal, an unyielding stance against defeat. No chains of routine labor, no rejection's sting, no whisper of retreat can sway the determined. Wealth beckons as a distant shore, reachable somehow, someday, through sheer will. Safety nets, steady posts with predictable pay, hold no allure, when the alternative is starvation or surrender. The backdrop then was bleak. A nation teetering on economic cliffs, inflation soaring like a hawk, and labor clashes painting the streets with discord. Markets quivered, banks recoiled, property swung wildly between peaks and pits. Leaders faltered, bombs punctuated the chaos, and a reluctant union with a broader continent stirred unease. Opportunity seemed a distant mirage. Who would stake a coin on a scruffy dreamer from a gritty borough, proclaiming grand visions of print and profit? Skepticism was fair. Resources were scarce, and desperation fueled the fire. A steady wage, that siren of stability, dims the flame of ambition more surely than any storm. Peers, sharper and better schooled, drifted into cushioned roles, crafting ads, spinning records, or shaping broadcasts, their tales of ascent a bitter contrast to the grind of persistence. Offers came, some generous, from those who saw potential to profit. Past stints at a vibrant rag like Pulse magazine honed skills and opened doors to creators, thinkers, and movers. A brief detour to a quirky outfit, let's call it Vivid Prints Limited, VPL, tasked with clawing back debts, proved a crucible. Arriving at their cluttered lair, chaos reigned, a goldmine of prints buried under idle hands. Swift cuts to the roster stunned the dreamers. Such moves clashed with their ethos. But the founders, weary of red ink, had sanctioned the purge. Results followed. Debts cleared, margins grew, if only briefly, before old habits reclaimed the helm. That taste of turning tides affirmed a truth. Enterprises can be steered to success, yet the riddle of seed money loomed unsolved. On a frigid night, huddled by a makeshift blaze, scavenged planks crackling in a dim flat, reality bit hard. Power long cut, warmth borrowed from a partner's meager earnings, the pull of a job, dangled like a lifeline. Youth still stretched ahead at 25. A pause to regroup could ease the strain. Love teetered on practicality's edge, urging a softer path. The fork loomed, conform or commit fully, knowing each step forward might lock the gate behind. No vow to yield broke the silence. Then a lifeline, a friend's call, a clatter of a second-hand ride, and a shared spark of respite shifted the tide. The next dawn saw renewed vigor, pounding pavement, chasing leads, vowing never to enrich another's coffers. The resolve held, no surrender. The gauntlet's truth, that's the raw forge of beginnings, humbling, jagged, lonely. Unless cradled by fortune's lineage, the trek to riches winds through barren stretches. Voices of comfort, kin, comrades, suitors, tempt with ease, torn between care and quiet dread of triumph. Harsh, perhaps, but real. Tales of ascent, etched in countless lives, thread a common vein. Relentless drive against the grain. Consider a painter of radiant fields. His letters a cry of torment and tenacity, sustained by a sibling's fragile aid. His works, bartered for bread, now gleam as treasures, proof that refusal to break can birth legacy, even at life's cost. The choice looms stark. Comfort cushions most in these lands. Nets of aid and steady rolls dull the edge of ruin. Why teeter on the brink? Why not ease the burden and cheer the chorus around? Only the unswerving, deaf to lures and bound to their course, press on. Riches await those who won't bend. 5. Pitfalls to dodge. Human dreams weave a tapestry of wild hopes, defiance, and missteps. A thinker once mused, here lie the snares most likely to trip the bold. 1. Chasing shadows over fire flawed. Roots bear bitter fruit. A banner from a war-torn era once warned, guesswork breeds chaos. Every seeker of fortune must etch that lesson deep. To flirt with wealth as a passing fancy, how grand to claim that prize, is a hollow echo. Desire alone, untethered to a burning need, fades like mist. Without that inner furnace, the toll of the chase risks breaking more than it builds. True pursuit demands a relentless hunger, not a whim soon lost to the day's distractions. Lack that, and the wise turn back, riches pale beside peace. 2. Trusting the tide. Too soon, numbers nod knowingly at this. Cash's ebb can sink the stoutest ship. Control slips when coffers dry, relegating visionaries to sidelines. Growth thrives on liquid lifeblood. Stagnation courts loss. Early ventures often stumble here, overreaching or ignoring the pulse of funds. Vigilance, not delegation, guards this gate. A tale of two fledglings swapping paper promises nudged banks to loosen strings. Clever, if sharp-edged. Yet quick fixes like debt hawking are a devil's bargain. Steer clear unless cornered, and then flee fast. Plan for drought, pray for plenty. 3. Feeding a falling star. Failure's embrace is a subtle trap, dodged only by ruthless clarity. Timing blurs the line. Yesterday's flop may bloom tomorrow. A message machine lingered in obscurity until it didn't. A budget skyway soared, then crashed, only to rise anew. When to cut loose, a digital dream once dazzled, swallowing millions before its fade. Love for the spark blinded the halt. Persistence is noble, but pouring into a void costs dear. Step back, weigh cold, and shift when the ground won't hold. 4. Dreaming. Vast, stumbling grand vision soars, but footing must stay sure. A lone spark, a tribute to a swift fallen warrior, blazed global trails, humbly sown. Success swelled, yet excess nearly toppled it. Lavish waste drowned millions, fraying bonds and health, arrogance's price. Grounded action, lean days, open ears, builds firm. Swagger courts collapse, balance the grand with the grit, or watch the tower tilt. 5. Stinting on brilliance. One gift unlocks the vault, spotting and tending rare minds. Talent fuels ascent, mediocrity stalls it. A sharp soul, lured afar, stayed when handed the reins of a nascent realm. Flexibility trumps gold. Chance to shine often seals the pact. Seek it young, nurture it well, and part when its peak wanes. With such allies, wealth flows near inevitable. History's wonders rose on skilled shoulders, not lone crowns.